This episode is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to build a swankified website and grow your brand.
What is this feeling so sudden and new?
Jealousy is a fast track to loathing or to hatred, and Galinda is insufferable.
I know. That's what makes me so nice.
This has big introvert, extrovert besties energy.
Ariana Grande is a murderer.
Yeah.
She is so good at this.
What always gets me in movies and in life is when something is beautiful, when something is gentle or sensitive or empathetic.
Galinda, for the first time, is seeing from someone else's perspective.
And Elphaba, I see her throughout this movie and I just want to bring her into my circle and be like, you can belong here. In every case, there's still a person there who wants to feel safe, respected, and loved. You infamously came down rather hard on
did.
Wicked.
Slight revision. Hello and welcome to Cinema Therapy. I'm Alan Seawright and I mourn the wicked.
I'm Jonathan Decker and I want to be popular. So we're doing Wicked, huh?
We're doing Wicked.
All right.
That's what we're doing. You're going to react to it. You're a therapist.
Yeah.
I'm a filmmaker. We're going to talk about how this movie is great and maybe overstays as well, but mostly how it's great. And we're going to learn things.
Yeah, and hopefully we can do a lot of episodes from these. What's going to be 2 films.
Yes.
I could definitely see psychology of a hero, villain therapy, like a lot of stuff coming out of this.
There is a lot of good stuff in this story, and we're just gonna do it. Here we go. Zoom.
Oh, I saved you some space, by the way. Here it is. Just in here.
I didn't notice till my second viewing of this movie. It's great.
She like folded up.
It's great. It was nothing. Roommates do these things for each other. So I've been told.
Misunderstandings, unmet expectations.
Major first day of summer camp vibes.
That is exactly what it is. What's a healthier way to approach this?
Well, I think Elphaba's doing the only thing she can do productively right now, which is just looking confused. Because it's look confused or start a fight. But who can blame her for just taking a minute to comprehend the human being before her right now?
Yes.
And Galinda is insufferable in the most entertaining way if you're an audience member. But when you deal with people like this in real life, who are entitled and spoiled and self-absorbed, but see themselves as benevolent and altruistic,
Dear Galinda, you are just too good.
it's really hard to get in because you have to challenge their entire sense of self.
Correct.
They're so lacking in self-awareness.
I know. That's what makes me so nice.
And it's gonna take a big moment for Galinda to wake up to her own self-absorption. But for Galinda, I think it's pretty obvious, there's 2 of you, so go halvesies on the room.
What is this feeling so sudden and new?
I felt the moment I laid eyes on you.
My
And then this split screen.
Yeah. Well, and the energy that we're getting of just them turning around in bed.
Yeah.
Like before they get up and start moving, like it still pops.
Choreographed. It's a dance, but it's also like believable.
I love this song. The hair flips,
Hair
man.
flips.
loathing, unadulterated loathing for your face,
Your voice.
your clothing. Let's just say I love it all. Every little trick, however small, makes my very flesh begin to crawl with simple utter loathing. There's a
I talk a lot about tolerance and inclusion and understanding and everyone's behavior makes sense to them. And that's all valid and good advice, but at the same time, you have to acknowledge just the simple human experience of there are people who just drive you crazy.
People who just, you loathe them.
loathing, loathing you my whole life.
Anyway, we can't do the whole song because, but you get the idea.
Loathing is the idea.
Yes.
Yeah. You infamously came down rather hard
I
on
did.
Wicked, even though you sang its praises and talked about all the things you enjoyed about it, and then you dropped the hammer.
9 out of 10 probably, except for the pacing and runtime issues, which for me are serious enough that it brings it down to a 5.
Whoa. Some time has passed.
Slight revision. I've now seen it all the way through twice.
Yeah.
It is a spectacular movie.
Yeah.
that overstays its welcome.
Yeah.
Case in point, I had to cut a whole chunk of this scene out to get from a part we needed to talk about to the song because it just goes too long.
2 hours later.
A bunch of the clips that we're going to watch, I've Frankenstein the hell out of them
Yeah.
because every scene just has too much stuff. All of the stuff is good.
Yeah.
It's frustrating because the performances are great, the writing is great, obviously everything technical, all of the art, the design, the wardrobe, 10 out of 10 on all of it. It's just a we never killed our darlings problem.
Yeah. You have to kill those darlings sometimes, put them in the deleted scenes or what have you, because things have got to keep moving.
And almost every scene has a part that feels like it drags. And that's a problem for me.
Yeah, that's fair. As far as people that you just detest and loathe, sometimes it's for good reason, because what they stand for is the opposite of what you stand for, because their actions and behaviors have caused harm to you or to people that you care about. And yet, in every case, there's still a person there who wants to feel safe, respected, and loved.
Yeah.
Galinda loathes Elphaba because Elphaba doesn't kowtow and worship her like everybody else does and think that everything she does is wonderful. And Elphaba loathes Galinda because
She's a lot.
she's a lot.
Well, and Galinda also, for the first time in her life, didn't get the thing she wanted. She's not in Madame Morrible's class. And this person who is sort of the opposite of everything she values and holds dear did get it.
Yeah.
And then from Elphaba's side, she's seeing, oh, she has a relationship with dearest, darlingest Mumsy and Popsicle. She gets everything she wants. Her parents adore her, and that's the thing that Elphaba never got. She's
Yeah.
like, this girl gets that?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, and jealousy is a fast track to loathing or to hatred.
For sure.
And that comes from our own sense of insecurity. That if I don't have this in my life, is it because I don't deserve it? Am I not good enough? And this other person is. And so in order to feel better about ourselves, we have to bring them down a peg. In most situations, we're not actually upset about what's going on. We're upset because of our own internal narrative of what that must mean about us.
Right.
And that is something that both of these characters work through to build their friendship. Hey, have you all seen our Cinema Therapy website?
It was so easy to build and buy and customize and make it nice and make it look good and do the thing, and right there, only on Squarespace.
Squarespace has tons of templates and layouts to choose from using their guided design system, Squarespace Blueprint AI.
So once we found one that really worked as a starting point for us,
It was so easy to customize.
way easier than getting in to see the wizard.
They have built-in visual design tools to make your website Galindified and not hideous.
No need for a makeover to make it your own brand and style. You're going to be popular just as you are. Just use Squarespace's design intelligence. It'll make you popular.
Well, it is all about popular. They also make it easy to sell content on your website.
Like courses, blogs, videos.
And Squarespace Payments is the easiest place to manage your payments all in one spot.
You can connect all your social and multimedia accounts.
So your website can function as a hub for everything you do.
Like how ours is linked to YouTube,
Patreon,
our merch stores,
and more.
so whether you need to build a website to sell your larger-than-life animatronics,
Or to promote your scandalicious underwater dance hall.
or your animal-friendly courses at Shiz University,
You can all rejoicify because Squarespace will work for you.
and you won't have to spend months building a website.
Check out squarespace.com for a free trial and when you're ready to launch.
Go to squarespace.com/cinematherapy and use code cinematherapy to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. I'm so glad that we made you say all of those words.
I'll say this much. She doesn't give a twig when anyone thinks.
Of course she does. She just pretends not to.
It's such a wonderful moment of Galinda, who's this, vapid, shallow character.
It's not like it's your fault.
Deeply understanding another person because she sees in that other person part of herself.
Please.
Well, and to Galinda's credit, she does care about people, just not as much as she cares about herself.
Yeah.
And not as much as she thought she did. But when she recognizes, I caused real pain.
Yeah.
I set her up to be mocked and scorned. And Galinda can use her social capital because anything Galinda wears or anything Galinda does is now cool.
This becomes cool immediately.
I've seen online commenters talk about how they were, especially men, that they weren't super into the movie, and then this scene happened and they found themselves bawling their eyes out. And it's so gentle.
So in a recent episode, I said, when we see people cry, that's a release, and the audience doesn't need to cry at that point. Not always true.
Yeah.
When you've seen a person who has every reason to cry and hasn't let themselves, and then they're able to let go, that's a whole different feeling.
And I love that she refuses to cry when she's sad or when she's embarrassed. But what gets her is somebody showed her kindness.
Yeah.
And and somebody showed her acceptance. And she was ready. She's been ready because of her whole life. She's very practiced in hiding her tears and her sadness when she's rejected. What she wasn't ready for was that. Gosh. What always gets me in movies and in life is when something is beautiful.
Yeah.
When something is gentle or sensitive or empathetic, that always moves me deeply. And I love that I can go to the movies with my kids. I can go to Wicked and I can cry my eyes out, and that my kids can see that. And your kids have this as well. They have a dad that says, this is fine.
Yeah.
You know, like, you can cry. It's not, there's nothing shameful about it.
No, my kids are confused when grown men don't cry at movies.
No, what's wrong with your dad? They talk to their friends like, your dad's emotionally repressed.
My dad has diabetes.
And the thing that is causing all of this for Elphaba is Galinda, for the first time, is seeing from someone else's perspective. At least the first time that we've seen.
Yeah.
Any number of times she's been helpful to people from on high. Like, I will bestow this gift upon you.
Yeah.
This isn't that. She's seeing what she did. She's able to put herself in Elphaba's shoes and go, oh. And then, accountability kink activated. She takes accountability and apologizes, not in a
Not verbally.
apology way. I'm sorry, what can I do? She puts her reputation on the line.
It's a non-verbal apology, and it totally works.
Yep.
You will.
The way the camera, with each word,
Yeah. Oh. Gosh dang, this movie is so great.
her little feet.
Popular.
The sound effect that it goes on.
Popular. I'll teach you the proper poise when you talk to boys. The ways to alert and flounce. Ew. I'll show you what shoes to wear, how to fix your hair. Everything that really counts to be popular.
Everything that really
I'll
counts.
help you be popular. You'll hang with the right cohorts. You'll be good
So,
at sports. Know the slang.
This
you
is
want to
an
know.
example of doing the wrong thing for the right reason.
Yeah, exactly.
I care about you, so let's change everything about
Change
you.
everything about you.
Because then you won't be miserable and you'll be accepted.
Analysis. Think of it as personality dialysis. Now that I've chosen to become a
Like, it comes from a good place, but what it's not is unconditional acceptance,
No.
becomes too popular.
which is what people actually need. I mean, don't get me wrong,
Hey, a good makeover is a good makeover.
Exactly.
Nothing wrong with that.
especially if that's what the person wants.
For sure.
Well, there's nothing that can stop you from
Man,
becoming popular.
And I mean this in a non-objectifying...
Sorry. That's just one of my favorite bits in
She, like,
the entire movie.
Popular.
put it in her face!
This is never gonna work.
What? Elfie!
The way she pops
You
up there. She pops up so hard she
Yeah.
almost falls over. Holy crap. The physical performance is insane. Okay,
Well,
sorry. Back to
I have to admire Ariana Grande for the first of all, because she's following Kristen Chenoweth
Yeah, that is a tough act to follow.
and decides to not do a Kristen Chenoweth. She has to be true to the character.
Yeah.
But she also has to make it her own, and mission accomplished.
Well, and knowing how good Ariana Grande is at, like, mimicry, she could just do a Kristen Chenoweth and
Yeah.
probably be perfect at it.
Popular.
Now, what I was trying to say, what?
It's not about aptitude.
Cynthia Erivo is beautiful.
So it's
Yeah.
very true
And I mean, yes, in like a classical sense, but also like there's something about her that just elicits. We are on we're on such different wavelengths right now.
I'm so sorry. Listen, Jonathan is over here and he's educating and he's telling us how we can be better people, and I am cackling at all the stupid bullshit that is happening because Ariana Grande is a murderer.
Yeah.
She is so good at this. Oh, it's upsetting. Anyway.
Well, she has the flashier role. The thing that I was trying to say is Cynthia Erivo, I know I mentioned this already, but there's so much that she does with her face that elicits empathy and compassion from the audience.
Yes.
Which is exactly what is supposed to be happening.
Correct.
Like, I see her throughout this movie and I just want to bring her into my circle and be like, you can belong here. You know? She's just got this wonderfully expressive face. And I love just the dynamics between these two. This has big introvert, extrovert besties energy.
100%.
Where one of them is pushing the other, and the other's like, oh, okay, I'll try it out. Here we go.
It's such a fun dynamic, and the chemistry between the two actors, like we talk about chemistry all the time, and it's often like romantic chemistry, right? You see the sparks, you feel the whatever.
Yeah.
This is some of the best chemistry I've ever seen, and it's the sort of analog would be buddy cop chemistry.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
This is Simon Pegg and Nick Frost level chemistry. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I could watch 10 more movies with these two. They don't have to be playing the same characters at all. In fact, I want to see these two playing completely different characters in 3 other completely different movies.
Now, I said earlier that Galinda's doing the wrong thing for the right reasons. She's trying to say, I love you, let's change everything about you.
Yes.
But the thing is, she's doing that because she knows what the social situation is out there. She's trying to help Elphaba socially.
Right.
But there's this beautiful moment where Elphaba's looking in the mirror, and it's just Elphaba's face. And Galinda says, why, Miss Elphaba?
You're beautiful.
Yeah, she gets to the right place by the end of the song. She has her try
Right.
the shoes and the glasses and the hair bows and the things and the dance outside and all of it, right? And finally, the last thing she tries, which is, oh, acceptance.
Yeah. In true Galinda fashion, she can only get to wherever she's going after a full song. Like after a full musical number.
She has to have a big showstopper.
Unlimited. Together we're unlimited.
Now, I've seen people talk about this, and I don't want to talk over the singing, but I have to because you two, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Buy the soundtrack, it's worth it.
The way we
But just the notion that they both know now
we work in tandem.
that the wizard is corrupt,
Yeah.
they both know what's really going on. They both have had major change. Okay, I'll shut up for a second.
Gravity, with you and I defying gravity.
Get it, ladies. Holy crap.
Never bring us down.
And yet,
Are you coming?
only one of them has the strength, the backbone, the determination to see it through. And most of us think we're Elphaba, but we're more like Galinda, unfortunately.
Like,
A lot of us go along to get along.
Yeah. And that's a hard pill to swallow. But what is beautiful to me about this scene is Elphaba sees what could be considered Galinda's moral weakness in this moment, right? And instead of judging her for it, instead of scolding her for it, she's just like, you know what, this is where Galinda is on her, or Galinda at this point,
Yep.
is in her journey, and I'm going to accept that, and I'm still gonna love her. You're right, these two are dynamite together. And let's be honest, she rocks that look.
Yeah, well, it doesn't hurt when you're shooting in slow motion backlit by a sun with, God rays extending across the screen. And then this shot, get it, come on!
So cool.
That's Michael Bay right there.
I think in all of the discussion about the performances or the story, not enough attention is drawn to just how epic the filmmaking is in this movie.
Listen, John M. Chu has always been better than the material that he's given. Like, if you look at his filmography, every movie he's made is better and bigger and flashier and more vibrant than it should be.
Yeah.
And this is great material.
Yeah.
And he elevated, like,
Yeah.
I am so excited to see more films from this guy. Like, everything he does is exciting and energetic and this is going to sound weird talking about Wicked because it's such a girl power movie. It's just brawny,
Yeah.
right? Like, you come
Yeah.
out of the theater just amped up, like,
Yeah.
oh,
It's very true.
that was wicked.
That was totally wicked!
And that's just the first part of the story.
Yeah. This feels like really strong end of college vibes.
Yeah.
Where you and your roommates have made different decisions. You're not going to be the same people anymore.
Yeah.
And you
probably can't stay together.
can't stay together. Somebody's going off to New York and somebody's going to DC.
I mean, we literally experienced this as
Yeah.
college roommates.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like, how do you navigate someone making a choice that maybe you don't agree with, but you understand, like, you respect?
It's hard when you know someone's making a decision that you feel will hurt them, which is where both of them are.
Yeah.
Because Glinda's not going with Elphaba because she's scared, but she's also scared for Elphaba in making this choice. But recognizing and respecting the right to choose and recognizing where it's coming from. Sometimes you don't respect the other person's choice, but you can respect their right to make it.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm a big fan of, in my personal life with loved ones, I'm only going to say this once, right? I love that expression. Because if I have a concern or something, like, I'm going to say this once.
Yeah.
And then whatever you do, I love you. I respect your autonomy. You're going to make a choice and I'm going to back you up. But because I care about you, I need to tell you what I'm seeing from my perspective, and you can do with that what you will. And I think that's a healthy way to approach that. And if you've shown someone love and respect and haven't tried to control them and then generally people will listen to you because you've earned that right.
This is fascinating. There's a ton to unpack. Let us know in the comments below what we missed so that we can address it later, because we're going to do a whole episode on Galinda. We're going to do a whole episode on Elphaba. We're going to do a whole episode on Captain Tight Pants. We got everything coming.
So what do you want us to cover?
Exactly.
So until next time,
Toss.
dancing through life, skimming the surface,
Just stick to singing.
and
Watch movies.
This is me. It's a turtle on its back. It's my favorite dance move. Shout out and thank you to our patrons. Over on our Patreon, we've got exclusive episodes, extended commercial-free director's cuts, and a whole lot of bonus content that we create just for you over there.
In this one, you get to listen to me complain about movie making stuff.
Yay! Folks like
Amanda Mannix-Spellmeyer,
Beth Barton,
Carniphoria Muir,
Ara Raven.
and Robert Walker.
Thank you, patrons. And just for all of you at home, I can do it if I keep it soft.
Oh, you can belt it.
Not well.
Really?
Ah!